I would suggest, and I wonder whether you agree, that one thing we can do is actually live up to the ideals that we profess to live by and that we profess that these countries also should live by. And just to take an example, the history of our engagement in the Arabian Peninsula over the last 100 years is a history of promising freedom and democracy, but in fact doing everything to make sure that they could never possibly work, because we have always put the interests of commercial convenience above the interests of those ideals. And we continue, I pledge, to do so, in that we allow BAE Systems or BP or our dependence on oil to come before actually supporting Republican, nationalist, secular governments in the Middle East. And we've always been terrified of them. So isn't there much more we can do than just have better chaps on the ground? Can't we actually be true to our ideals?
Yes, we can do much better to be true to our ideals. I mean, the history of Britain's involvement in the Middle East since the First World War is shameful. What we did after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, the way we connived with the Syrian French colony, the way we created a colony in Iraq was shameful. So yes, we can. But, and this is another thing, let's not be so carried away with an illusory nature of what we or our allies are or can be into the bigger danger, which is that we talk so much about our ideals, we live the dream of our principles so much that we raise the expectation of people in other countries in ways that we're unable to fulfill. Probably the thing that actually hits me hardest about Iraq was that our presence there on the ground, and my experience in Misan, is that the more I talked about human rights, the more I talked about our principles, the more I encouraged people to come forward, Haida, who worked with me as my translator, or women who joined our provincial council, who were subsequently killed by the Saddamist militia, and who we've done absolutely nothing to protect or to get out of the country, because we did what we couldn't do. We exceeded our resources. We made promises we couldn't fulfill, and we raised expectations which we were unable to do anything about. So I think that's almost the crueler betrayal.